Is Mickey Mouse about to lose his house? It seems woke Disney fairy tales equal low ticket sales. Box office analysis of Disney's last 8 studio releases show a shocking loss of nearly $1 billion.
Disney, once synonymous with captivating tales and beloved family films, is now at the center of divisive debates. Recent issues such as casting choices, revised plots, and public statements made by celebrities like Rachel Zegler have drawn criticism from fans. These controversies, coupled with subpar box office releases, paint a concerning picture for a company that once seemed unshakable. Disney's response, however, is surprising. Rather than avoiding controversy, they seem to embrace it. Every divisive social media debate, every widely circulated Zegler video criticizing vintage Disney themes, and every negative review appear to serve a larger purpose. Disney gains significant attention from being discussed, whether positively or negatively. The central question remains, will this strategy ultimately strengthen or weaken their brand? Let's begin with Rachel Zegler's remarks and explore how Disney capitalizes on these controversies. A media frenzy erupted following Rachel Zegler's casting as Snow White and her comments about the 1937 original masterpiece. She criticized the beloved animated film for lacking modern values and being outdated. Fans, however, perceived her remarks as dismissive of a cherished part of Disney's legacy. The backlash was swift and severe, with many accusing Disney of prioritizing woke narratives at the expense of storytelling integrity. Despite the criticism, Disney remained steadfast. Instead of retreating, they leveraged the controversy, allowing Zegler's polarizing comments to keep Snow White in the spotlight. It became evident that generating attention, whether positive or negative, was more important than appeasing traditional fans. This tactic suggests that Disney is less concerned with retaining its loyal fan base and more focused on remaining relevant in a competitive entertainment landscape. But is this risk worth taking? To answer that, we must examine Disney's recent box office performance. Disney's box office track record has faltered in recent years. Films like Strange World and Lightyear were outright disasters, while The Little Mermaid barely turned a profit despite extensive marketing efforts. These failures were not trivial. According to box office figures, Disney lost nearly $1 billion on its last 8 studio releases combined. For a company once known for turning every release into gold, these numbers are troubling. Take The Little Mermaid as an example. While it sparked widespread discussion due to its controversial casting and reception, its earnings fell short of covering the total production and marketing costs. Similarly, Lightyear faced significant backlash over creative choices, leading its attempt to branch out from the Toy Story franchise to fall flat. These disappointments raise serious concerns about Disney's strategy. However, the issue goes beyond financial performance. Why are audiences feeling fatigued? Historically, Disney relied on its Marvel, Star Wars, and animated classics to drive profits. Yet what was once a reliable formula now feels like a saturated market. Marvel's recent films, such as Ant-Man 3 and Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, failed to match the success of their predecessors. Meanwhile, enthusiasm for Star Wars has waned, with streaming series like The Mandalorian struggling to recapture the magic of the original trilogy. Overload, not just bad narratives or divisive characters, is to blame for this decline. Audiences don't have much time for wonder or anticipation with so many spin-offs, prequels, and sequels available. The result? Fewer people attend movies, and even those who do are less engaged. When fan fatigue sets in, can Disney continue to gain an edge through controversy alone? Let's examine their use of criticism as a promotional tactic. Disney seems to have mastered the art of making headlines, even if it means stirring up controversy. Recent films like The Little Mermaid and the upcoming Snow White remake have sparked heated online debates, from casting choices to comments made by actors like Rachel Zegler. Although these disputes may seem like PR catastrophes, Disney has a different perspective. Every contentious YouTube video, social media thread, and widely held debate has one thing in common: people are talking about Disney. Think of The Little Mermaid, for instance. Heated discussions erupted on both sides of the issue once Halle Bailey was chosen to portray Ariel. This controversy overshadowed even the movie's concept, but it kept Disney in the news for months. Similarly, Rachel Zegler's remarks about Snow White ensured the movie remained relevant long before its release. But can controversy alone sustain a brand? To understand Disney's broader challenges, let's explore how shifting consumer tastes are reshaping the entertainment landscape. Today's viewers are not the same as those during Disney's prime. Younger generations gravitate toward platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch, dominated by gaming, anime, and short-form content. The traditional Disney mix of heartfelt tales and animated songs seems less relevant to contemporary audiences. For years, older fans, Disney's core audience, have been alienated by the company's attempts to modernize its classics. This shift in preferences has created a divide. Films like Lightyear, which sought to align with progressive values, failed to impress critics or audiences and became commercial disappointments. Even with iconic brands like Star Wars, engaging both new audiences and nostalgic fans has been challenging. Rather than uniting generations, Disney's content often feels caught between two worlds, appealing to neither. So, what keeps Disney afloat in these turbulent times? The answer lies in a different kind of magic: theme parks. Even while its movies don't always resonate, Disney's theme parks continue to thrive. In 2023 alone, the parks generated $8.95 billion in operating revenue, solidifying their role as a cornerstone of the company's success. Disneyland and Walt Disney World offer immersive experiences often missing in Disney's movies, attracting millions of visitors annually. Even controversial films like The Little Mermaid and the upcoming Snow White contribute to this appeal. Regardless of a movie's popularity, it drives demand for related theme park attractions, merchandise, and experiences. Redesigned park rides and aerial-themed products, for instance, keep consumers engaged long after a film leaves theaters. Theme parks help mitigate box office losses, but they also raise an important question. Without the parks, could Disney maintain its charm? Considering the high costs of movie production, the answer seems doubtful. Disney's recent film budgets have ballooned to staggering levels. The upcoming Snow White remake, for example, reportedly costs over $330 million to produce. Extended CGI work and pandemic delays have further inflated expenses. Even substantial tax rebates for filming in the UK made little dent in the overall budget. And the spending doesn't end there. Disney's marketing efforts, spanning TV, social media, and product partnerships, are equally extravagant. When these costly films underperform at the box office, the financial losses are immense. The Little Mermaid struggled to recoup its production and marketing expenses. The pattern is clear. Disney is taking massive financial risks for diminishing returns. Yet, the company doesn't seem alarmed. Their secret weapon? Streaming. Despite numerous box office setbacks, Disney Plus serves as a safety net. Films that falter in theaters often find a second life on the platform. For instance, while Lightyear and The Little Mermaid underperformed in cinemas, their Disney Plus releases boosted viewership and subscriptions. Streaming ensures that these films retain value long after their theatrical runs. Disney Plus also acts as a hub for brand development. Even a box office flop can generate interest in spin-offs or platform-exclusive series like The Mandalorian, a hit among Star Wars fans. This ecosystem approach keeps audiences engaged, turning short-term losses into long-term gains. However, building and sustaining this streaming empire is costly and hinges on consistent audience engagement. How does Disney manage to maintain that interest? The answer lies in its ability to shape cultural discourse. As we will explore next, Disney's reputation is based on more than just ticket sales. Convincing investors of their cultural relevance is the aim. Disney is often in the headlines because of controversy, whether it is over casting choices or public indignation. From disputes over The Little Mermaid to Rachel Zegler's controversial remarks, these viral incidents reassure stakeholders that Disney is still a popular choice in a crowded entertainment industry. The long term is more important to investors than particular box office performances. Product sales, theme park attendance, and Disney Plus subscriptions are all significant revenue streams that may be increased by a contentious movie. Disney's sophisticated approach gives them an edge even when traditional metrics, including box office results, decline. However, depending too much on discussion has its risks. Will this strategy be successful in preserving the emotional ties Disney formerly had with its audience? To get a sense of what's at stake, let's examine how the magic of the Disney story has evolved or faded. Disney used to be a brilliant storyteller who created classics like Beauty and the Beast, The Lion King, and Aladdin. In addition to entertaining audiences, these films forged close emotional ties with them. But now, that magic appears diminished. Many of Disney's recent initiatives have come under fire for being excessively commercial, lacking creativity, or being made more to sell products than to present gripping stories. Think about Mulan. Although the live-action adaptation aimed to remake the famous animated classic, it alienated fans with its tonal changes and storyline revisions. Unlike the original Beauty and the Beast or The Lion King, these modern remakes often lack the passion and individuality that defined Disney's golden age. Prioritizing business over content might damage Disney's decades-long goodwill. So, what happens if customers start to question the brand? Who is not a fan of corn dogs? Yes, it is. Yes, I do. Nowadays, boycotts against Disney are common on social media, and the company is regularly the focus of popular discontent. Critics have accused the company of prioritizing political objectives above creative storytelling, which has led to campaigns such as Boycott Disney. Disney's financial results are seldom much affected by these adjustments, despite the fact that they make headlines. Why? Because Disney's operations are too varied to be ruined by a single conflict. Despite bad reviews for movies like Lightyear or The Little Mermaid, Disney theme parks, merchandise, and streaming services still generate revenue. An exclusive series on Disney Plus or a brand new attraction at Disneyland may provide some short-term respite from the disappointment of a failed film. Disney Plus programs mitigate the effect. For instance, dolls with Ariel motifs and Halloween costumes were developed and sold successfully in spite of the criticism of The Little Mermaid. Disney's present approach, fueled by controversy and franchise overload, has managed to keep them in the public eye, but it is dangerous because it may drive away loyal fans who are looking for deep narratives while failing to draw in younger audiences who are using gaming, anime, and other platforms. To regain their balance, Disney needs to return to its origins and deliver uplifting stories that appeal to all ages. Disney, the challenge is finding a balance between timeless appeal and modern sensibilities. If it is unable to do so, its allure may ultimately wane, allowing competitors to take its place. So what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you don't want to miss out on the hottest celebrity news, make sure to subscribe to Daily Finder